is another video in our series on sail trim and covers the subject of sail trim for off-wind sailing. Let's start with a little sail trim theory. We'll take a chart of points of sail and we'll make it into a sail trim guide. The term off-wind means that you're sailing away from the wind. The wind direction is somewhere after the beam to directly behind you. This opposes to upwind sailing, where the wind is ahead of you, located somewhere from off the beam to the close haul position. Now, if we lay on top of our sail trim guide the wind power graph from the sail trim video Forces of Lift versus Push, we can see that our off-wind area is the same as the area where we trim for push, and that's the guidance we need for off-wind sailing. So let's convert this guidance into a couple of practical rules. When the wind is after the beam of the boat, when you're sailing off the wind, and if you can see the wind indicator at the top of the mast, the boat is on a broad reach. With broad reach, you want to trim your sails for drag effect, and basically you get the most drag by having your sails at a right angle to the direction of the wind. So take a look at where my wind indicator is, and I want to ease the main sheet so the boom is at a right angle to the direction of the wind. And that's about what we have now. That's our basic setting for the main. So the first sail trim rule for off-wind sailing is to adjust the main sheet so the boom is at a right angle to the wind. Then with the jib, it's not going to be producing a lot of effect because the main's catching most of the wind. You want to ease the jib forward and have it collect whatever wind pressure you can have it collect. If it gets to the point where the front of it's starting to luff, you just trim it back a little bit. And that's where we are now. Ease it out until it just starts to luff and then trim it back a bit, and that's about the best you're going to get. That gives us our second rule for off-wind sailing, is to ease the jib until it starts to luff and then trim it back just a bit and you're set. And that's our basic off the wind setting. The boom is set at a right angle to the direction of the wind. The jib is eased out until the front starts to luff, and then you trim it back just a bit, and it's collecting the best wind pressure it can, and that's our off-wind sail setting. And that gives us our third rule for off-wind sailing. If you're sailing downwind and the jib falls towards the middle of the boat, use the lazy sheet, pull the jib out to windward, and have it fly on the side away from the wind. Sailing with the jib opposite the main is called sailing wing and wing, and that gives us our third rule of off-wind sailing. If the jib drops in, switch to wing and wing. We'll do another sail trim video on the subject of sailing wing and wing.